tuned into Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
Hi, hello. How are you doing? My name is Liz. I'm to Pinto, and this is RBLR Sun FC. Tom just casually reading.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize we were doing something.
Yeah. Is that a good book from a really cool person?
It's a great book from a great person, Liz. I'm enjoying it.
Yay. Tom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Let me have my 30 seconds to talk about my lacrosse team. We're having a great season, okay? We're going into our final regular season game. It's a rivalry matchup, a lot on the line. We're going to host districts if we win. We're not going to if we lose, but we can still qualify for regionals if we don't win. There's a lot going on, okay? So, lock in, all right? I'm done with lacrosse in about 3 weeks, and then I'm going back to being an absolute freak sicko for women's professional soccer. But I got to develop the next level of women's athletes first, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So I'm doing great, Liz. I'm revved up, ready to go. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Yeah, this match could have been better. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
It's very Tampa Bay Sun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's great though, and super easy, is liking and subscribing. So you should hit the buttons, or hit the button. I'm gonna get this right. Button.
There's two buttons down here: the like and the subscribe.
I'm sorry, the like and then the subscribe. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, make sure you don't miss a single podcast, a single update, because we have some fun stuff we're talking about today. We are going to recap our match against Brooklyn. We're going to chat with Brooke Hendricks.
Talk about Brooke.
The basically captain of our back line.
Yep.
And then we are going to look ahead to our match against Fort Lauderdale, and then there's some news about Jacksonville.
Future rivals, stay tuned. The Florida Derby gets a little more interesting.
It does.
And it seems like it will get a little more interesting for every year until now, from now until the heat death of the universe, because the Super League loves Florida. It seems
we just keep every year we're adding more Florida teams. Soon we're going to have one in every county.
Yep, we'll have Lakeland, we'll have the Villages, Sarasota. Let's go.
It's going to be like was it the W League had like 57 teams for a little while or something like that?
W League? USLW?
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember. One of the lower leagues has like a bunch of teams. It's very funny.
Yeah. It's a good state to watch soccer in. We should know.
Yeah, accurate. Speaking of watching soccer.
Did you do that this weekend?
I did do that. It was kind of painful, honestly.
For a little bit.
Dragged.
I think it was a little more. Look, it's a draw. It's a draw. You're listening to or watching a Tampa Bay Sun FC podcast. We shouldn't have to sit here and tell you it was a draw. Okay, it was probably a draw.
You're not special. We draw every week. That's not the right tune at all, but to pretend it was.
No, virtually the right lyrics though.
Thank you.
Yes, but look, to this game's credit, and it almost feels weird to evaluate a game on its own merits at this point instead of like our teams or anything else. Like, you know what? We're so used to draws at this point. We're almost connoisseurs of draws. If you consume enough draws, you can start to really differentiate between the different styles and flavors of draws.
Yeah. Great.
I would have to say that this draw, 2-2 against Brooklyn FC up in Coney Island at Maimonides Park, was an exceptionally exciting, vibrant draw. A draw that really dances upon the palate of the connoisseur of the tie ball game. This is one that it did not bore by any measure. It could have been better.
It didn't bore, but it could have been better.
Yeah, well, 3 points are always better than 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, and you've heard our own players say it before, a point on the road is a good thing. Point on the road is a point on the road. You want that. You want to earn that much at least.
Okay, that's nice when you're not in 5th place.
Yeah. And fifth place is starting to feel more and more like fifth place the longer the season goes on.
Yeah.
Fifth
place is starting to feel a little bit too permanent.
Yes. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
It's never been funny, fifth place, but it was a bit more tolerable earlier.
No, and I need Carolina to lose some more because I really want to make that Carolina decent logo so bad.
Yes. Yeah.
They're making me angry that they're not being worse.
Yeah. The descent is funny when they're losing, but then they kind of right the ship 3-0 against Dallas recently. I just need Carolina decent, nothing.
Decent.
We're the decent team, and I don't want us to be.
Let me make my terrible jokes.
Right. If the soccer league exists for nothing, it should exist for Liz and I to get off some really dumb puns.
Honestly.
Okay. So we 2-2. Let's get the score out there in front of anybody who didn't see the Chiron at the bottom. Great work, Eureka. There it is again. Oh my God.
Yes.
Like a celebrity sighting. So for anybody who isn't watching us, A of all, you're doing it wrong. B of all. Yeah. B of all. I understand you got other things going on. B of all, 2-2. We are excited by that as people who enjoy watching. All right, look, we're not people who enjoy watching draws. I don't know exactly how to phrase this. People who are
I'm so sick of draws. Yeah. I'm sick of draws, but they're better than losses. This is what we're going with.
People who have watched more draws than any soccer fan base should have to watch in a single season. 2-2 is fun. I wouldn't say it's cool or good, but I would say fun and exciting, sure. And I think in particular, the way we got this draw was pretty fun and exciting. It was almost unsun-like in the way we secured the last point. It like the way we gave up 2 points in the draw to Spokane is almost exactly the way we gained 1 point in this past game against Brooklyn. A late goal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. It's not something we really traffic in, the late goal. We get, no,
if we could do it more often, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I don't want to have to rely on a late goal, but I don't want to get bit by them. Typically we're a team that scores kind of in the meat of a soccer game, and not, we had that little spell there where we giving up some early goals. And in fact, come to think of it, we're still in that spell of giving up early goals. Brooklyn did score in the 11th minute.
Man, and I hate being mean, but I got some players who should not be starting and then should have been subbed at halftime.
Yeah, we need to rotate.
I like Listro starting again, by the way. She looked phenomenal. Shout out to Listro. I like her where she is. She's just more aggressive than Flo, and I think that just comes with Listro being who she is.
Yeah, she's been shooting lately. I think we maybe took her for granted earlier in the season, but I don't know if it's us who have grown as fans and appreciators of Listro ball, or if it's her who has stepped into a more aggressive and fulfilling role for herself. But she has definitely seemed more important to the team lately. Is that right?
Both. I like both.
Yeah. I like the idea that we're growing as people, because you can't track that too easily. And if my growth and development as a human being is reflected in my appreciation for the way Jordan Listro plays soccer, let's go. Let's rock. I love that. Yeah. So yeah, she's brought something different. And I don't know if that's coming from her, if it's coming from Denise, if it's something we've noticed that we haven't noticed before, but she has totally brought something different and changed the complexion of games, been a little aggressive, been very controlling of the ball, been very smart. She's looking like that good, experienced soccer player that not just us, but everybody thought Tampa Bay Sun would kind of be based around earlier in the season when we had signed a lot of experienced veterans. We thought we were going to be a smart, controlling, well-oiled machine. And at the very least, Jordan Listro is a very well-oiled gear in the machine that is the Tampa Bay Sun FC.
Yes, she's very tan.
Oh wow, that's a really good pun. I missed from 3 minutes ago.
Thank you. No, she is very consistent. I appreciated that. Also Giamona is starting again. Thank God. This was 3-5-2. It was not pretty soccer though.
Yeah, it was a road 3-5-2.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
And we started Jackie Simpson, which she didn't play bad in the last game, but I also don't remember her being exactly a standout. And I hate to say it, but I don't necessarily think she should be starting.
Yeah. I'd like,
and I say that with all the love in the world because I know she came from the training squad. She worked very hard. I also think there's no shame in being a super sub sometimes.
Yeah,
like sometimes you need those people to come in the 70th minute when everybody else, when the other team's tired. Take advantage of it. That's what you're good at. That's what you're good at.
Yeah. It's and we've had. It's interesting the way each of our sort of units have had their own struggles and growth through the season. You know, we didn't have our offense attacking mid forwards very much based around foreign players. You know, Nacello, I think, is the American-born player who, Giamona too. Nacello, Giamona, foreign player or domestic players who are making a big difference. Paige is an American too, and she's a defender who kind of tracks offensively, gets up there more. But the growing pains for the offense were that we didn't have everybody. We didn't have the visas settled. Not everybody was there. There's been some of that in the back line too that I feel like has gone a little unnoticed with all the other sort of unit struggles in our team. Yeah, because we went from
not unnoticed by us, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, but I think less focused upon because we've had a back four, we've had a back three, but we've and it's always been pretty good. We don't give up 3 goals in a game ever. You know, it's not something we do. But we've rotated through lone players. We've rotated through Kristen Edmonds, who isn't here anymore. The only like solid things in the back have been Brooke Hendricks and Viv Bissett. The wings have always been a question. Are they right wingers? Are they left wingers? Are they right backs? Are they left backs? Who plays where? Who plays when? Who starts? Who doesn't? We've got Dory Haugen now as a left back option. We've got Jackie Simpson as a left back option. I don't know if either is.
No, we don't.
And again, all due respect
as a sub left back option.
I don't know who is, you know, when it comes to the entire league as a whole, who is jumping off the page is like, wow, that's one of the better players. The same way like a Giamona or a Flu sometimes or a Flint is jumping off the page as, wow, this is one of the better players in the league. I don't think we're getting that out of our back line, despite the fact that they've been pretty effective as a unit. So we've had to rotate. We've had to experiment.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if that's DSB ball not being like right for this or what. It's not the quality of players, I don't think, because they're phenomenal.
Yeah. Everybody deserves to be a pro that's on this team, I would say.
Yeah. Although some of Simpson's decision making in this game was kind of questionable. There were a lot of that felt like very short, quick passes that were very what do I do? Pass.
Yeah. And it's
that she also was not the only one. We're talking about the back line specifically, but she was not the only one making some of these passes that I felt like we were kind of deer in the headlights for a minute or two.
Yeah, for a while early in this game, the back line in the midfield were making some almost questionable calls. And the only reason for the first 15, 20, 30 minutes of the game I'm not calling out the forwards is because they weren't really getting any service. They weren't having the chance to screw up that everybody else was.
Yeah.
So it can be hard going on the road. Obviously, we all know that. I think we do play better at Big Jim, at Large James, at Riverfront Stadium, at Fort Blake. Keep the nicknames coming, y'all.
Just let's go through the list.
Comment down below your favorite nickname for our stadium, and if you don't have one, come up with one.
And then you should hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss anything.
Yes. So
so that my producer doesn't yell at me for not remembering, for forgetting to ask people to subscribe.
Liz, picture us 5 months ago. We're a well-oiled machine now.
Oh my God, amazing.
Hey, let's take a break. Take a break right here real quick. Our growth as a podcast has mirrored the growth of our team, and it's something beautiful to watch. We're an expansion pod covering an expansion team, and it's been real fun for everybody. We're a solid 5th place podcast, I would say.
We are.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Solid 5th place podcast. Okay.
I don't know how many other podcasts we're competing with in the Super League.
We're the number 1 Sun Chasers, so that's what matters.
Yeah. We got an award for that.
We got an award for it.
No one can ever take that away.
Yes, even if you can only see that if you go to the YouTubes. So make sure you go to the YouTubes.
Yes. Even if they decide later maybe they should take that away, they can't.
No.
It's already out there.
Yep.
So yeah,
you say this game was explosive, but we don't want to talk about it. We didn't like this game.
We're dodging around the concept of this game as a whole.
Yeah.
It was exciting to watch in the moment.
Rewatching it was not exciting.
I didn't do that.
I did. Okay, there were.
That's the problem when you know how a game goes. You know, it's tough.
I mean, yes.
Not to mention,
I also think it was funny. I think we got our earliest Nacello foul, by the way, in the 4th minute.
4th minute, yeah. I did like that you noted that, you mentioned that, because yes, that's the game we like to play here. How long does it take until somebody fouls Nacello to get her to quit it?
Yes.
4th minute, Brooklyn wanted none of that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's a good move on Brooklyn. I think the earlier you foul Nacello, probably the better.
Yeah.
If you looked at her average positioning, she was not super far advanced and very well to the sideline. And she definitely likes to play on that sideline. That's where she starts her dribbles. You draw one. You're not drawing 2 players all the way to the sideline in a pro soccer match. You're drawing 1, and that creates an isolation opportunity. It's something that a player like Nacello, who is probably, I would say, the best dribbler in the Super League, she's looking for those one-on-one opportunities, a chance to beat one person and then have 10, 15 yards of space coming in from the left wing to serve a ball in or something, So she wants somebody to come all the way out there with her. But the fact that her average position is that close to the sideline as it really is, it just shows the way that Brooklyn, probably well-coached team, understood that she wanted someone to follow her out there and get beat. If one player can beat one player and use their speed, their skill to create something, that's when sports gets dangerous. That's when there's an opportunity for a soccer team. And it's something that Brooklyn really limited in Sydney's game. I don't think she had a bad game by any means, but Brooklyn countered her in a way that a lot of teams don't. A lot of teams just say, let's foul her, get it out of the way. Let's get her mad. You don't get Sydney Nacello mad. She's used to being fouled. She likes being fouled. But Brooklyn kind of eliminated her from a game. And that's because our goals had to come from different places than they kind of normally do, in different times than they normally do.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, Brooklyn scores first in the 11th minute.
Nice
I'm going to be honest. Simpson was too slow to the ball. She didn't tackle. So Brooklyn gets a ball into the center and they get a goal. And it really wasn't Schneider's fault because it shouldn't have gotten that far.
No, that was off of a throw-in, wasn't it? Kind of business as usual, routine sort of throw-in and right around the middle of the field.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and yeah, it was. I mean, good work. Who was that off Brooklyn? Brooklyn, I got to give credit to. Even through their struggles, they look like a good team. They really do. That was Grace Philpotts for Brooklyn with that 11th minute goal, and she wasn't the one who got the assist, didn't get the initial thing going on there, but it was a really good job by the Brooklyn player to seal Jackie off from that throw-in. And again, like I'm saying, you have one player beat and you use speed to get away and create your own space, and things get really dangerous. So they sealed her off. beat her with speed. It's hard to recover if you're simply not as fast as the person you're covering and you're beat 30, 40 yards upfield. It's going to be a tough outing. So that's what happened to that goal.
Speaking of players who were trying to beat other players 30 and 40 yards ahead of it, Tash Flint was all over just all over. She was playing the role of soccer player tonight.
Yeah. And that's what happened when a team has one player eliminated, like Sydney. She can't be a soccer player. She's a left winger. Brooklyn has decided that. Somebody else has to step up and fill that gap and make plays all over the field, track back on defense, create things on offense. And my God, Flint was a monstrosity in this past game in the best way possible. She was everywhere. Really good ball.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, Listro had a really good match. In the 16th minute, she gets a great shot that just goes just over the crossbar. It was an assist from Nacello. Good stuff. We like to see it. An
assist from Nacello. We say she got eliminated for the game, but that was off of like a right-sided corner kick that Nacello, the left winger, found herself on the end of and played it up to Tash. So like, when you're that good, you don't get kicked out of a game. You don't let it happen to you.
Yeah. But then there's little things or I guess big things, honestly. Because a Brooklyn player gets the ball. We have 3 players on Brooklyn, and when they take the most selfish option of shooting instead of passing to the wide open person, but south of it. What do you see? It's down.
Salma Amani.
Yeah. No, I was trying to figure out how to say the direction. South of them? Below them?
Below?
I don't know. My brain just broke for a minute. It's fine.
Liz.
My brain just broke for a minute. I'm a professional.
Everybody drink some water if you got it.
Yeah,
regroup. You have water, I love it.
Yep. All right. Anyway, so they literally take the most selfish option of shooting, and they get a shot off. They should not. Why did we just not slide tackle them? Why did we not take them out? What is going on?
Yeah,
we're being too nice, and we're not doing enough.
Yeah, just a little passive.
And then,
that's a problem with the 3-back system. Is you in a 4-back and a 5-back, you got help everywhere. In the 3-back, if you make a mistake stepping up to a player, it's lights out. It's game over. You know what I mean? So you got to be smart. You got to give time for those wing backs on the left, Sidney Nacello, on the right, Page, to drop back and be available. There's no stepping up and doing something if you think you're going to get beat in the middle of the field. Because with 3 backs, that's 3 center backs. And one of them getting beat, like we saw with the first Brooklyn goal, can be a real problem real fast. So I get being a little passive on the counterattack. I almost don't hate it because it shows some confidence in your goalkeeper to not think, oh, I got to go do something right now. You know what I mean? Because
the goalkeeper.
I think Schneider looked great, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Although, wait, actually.
What do you mean?
I think the second one she might have been off her line.
I think the second one she had to be off her line. I got no problems with anything Schneider did. Straight up.
Okay,
I'll say it.
Fair enough. All right.
Straight up, I got no issues with Sydney Schneider.
Okay.
She's a little thin. She needs to eat a little more. She's like a bird. That's just the Italian grandma coming out at me is all. But besides that, the way she plays soccer is really good.
Okay. We do get a goal a couple, 2 minutes later in the 29th. We get a beautiful cross from Giamona to Henny to Tash to goal.
Yeah.
I love it.
This was a distinctly unsun-like goal in a pretty unsun-like game. Very rarely do we have a player just absolutely take the leather off of a ball from outside of the box the way Flint did. She hit it on the bounce, one-timed it, kind of curled away into the right side, away from the Brooklyn goalie, who It was the what's her name? The backup, Niku Purcell. Again, a great player. No bad options in between the sticks for Brooklyn. But yeah, absolutely incredibly well hit ball by Tash Flint. I jumped out of my seat when it happened. It was, it was great.
Yeah. You jumped out of your seat. I had a mini heart attack for the last one. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was an emotional game for us for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it really was. It was, especially going in and being like, oh, we're gonna lose.
Yeah. We had a long day.
That's a spoiler alert. So hold on. We'll get back to that. But then like a couple minutes later, we have Brooklyn has 3 players on, and then like 2 of ours quit. So it's like a 1-on-1, and then they make a great header that does get blocked. But like, it's just little things. So like, these are the mistakes that made us lose with Spokane.
Yeah, and it's the give and the take of a 3-back system. I think where I think the conventional wisdom about having 3 defenders is that you really got to have faith in your 3 defenders to be able to pull that off. And I don't think that's necessarily true in the modern game. I think you can run the 3-back system not because you love and have unrelenting trust in your 3 defenders. I think you can run 3-back because you love and have unrelenting trust in your 5 midfielders. It comes less down to the 3 defenders' ability to stop, whatever attack is happening, and more of their ability to slow down the attack in time for the rest of your midfield to get involved in the defensive effort. And I think we are stacked in the midfield as a team. We got a lot of midfield talent. We got some good strikers, but the core of what Tampa Bay Sun FC really is, to me at least, is that midfield. And so the reason we can't afford to play 3 at the back is because we have these great 2-way players. We have 5 players on the field at a time who can go up and down the field and be effective on either side. So the job of the 3 defenders isn't to make that hero play. It's to slow things down, to settle things, and transition. It's basic soccer. You're not a 3-5-2 in possession of the ball and without the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're a 3-5-2 to start, and then you push everybody up when you have the ball. Maybe you got one single defender hanging around the midfield circle when you're really possessing the ball and settled in offense. And then when you're settled in defense, you drop back into a block, and probably you got more of a back line of 5 players when Nacello on the left and Page on the right come back in and help. But it's up to those 3 players in transition to make the stop. That's
I don't have anything to follow that up with. I was just going to go to the next thing in the match.
Hey, that was good.
You said it really well, honestly.
I just realized that right now. So,
yeah.
But I think that's truly what it is that we're a very midfield stacked team, and the reason we get away with that is because of the strength of our midfield. We've experimented a lot everywhere, but the thing that has remained consistent is no matter who's in the midfield, obviously the style of play changes, the complexion changes a little bit, but it's always that we have good players. Some of them have a little bit of a philosophy that differs from each other on how they want to get upfield or what they're able to do, but they're all willing and able to get up and downfield. I will take willingness over ability 100 times out of 100 when it comes to athletes. And we've got that in the mids.
Yeah.
So going into halftime, right? Is that where we're at? 1-1?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't hate it. The 1-1 at half, right?
Yeah.
Felt fine to me.
Yeah. See, but there was another thing with Simpson. She kicks the ball straight to Brooklyn, and they get a pass forward, and then they backheel it, and then they get up the side with a pass to the middle again. That's the biggest thing they keep doing because they figured out that Jackie Simpson was a huge weak spot. Let's go up the right side and pass to the middle.
They did pick on that side the whole game, but to me at halftime, the majesty of the Flint one time outside the box goal was way outweighing anything else that happened. I went into that thinking, my God, Tash Flint is a goddess sent here from the heavens.
I mean, we know that. That's separate from the goal entirely.
Hey, she used she used up some mana to really do a god thing. Yes, and so I felt buoyed in a way that I normally don't. I think it's because we don't often see a 2-goal first half in a Sun match. We see a 1 or a 0. So 2 felt good, even if one of those was on one side and one was on ours. We're used to draws. We traffic in draws. It's no big deal. So it felt like there was some room to grow into in the second half. And there kind of was in the first half of the second half. But it felt like that window was closing for a long time before it got thrown wide open. What do you got to say about the? Let's get. That's kind of an overview. What do you got to? What I mean, Elizabeth. Yeah, pretty much.
We are professional podcasters.
We get paid to do this a lot too.
Got so much money. No. It's a couple of just little things. Like we pass, it misses, it goes out. It's little things that we could have done. Around like the 49th minute, there's some really good press from Brooklyn, and I literally said to myself, I was like, "Oh, that's what we should be doing."
Yeah.
It's just like, and then 2 minutes later, we have Tash tracking all the way back to the final third. Just try and stop the Brooklyn goal because Bissett misses a header. Henny, it was just a cascade of bad things. Bissett misses the header. Henny misses the pass. Flint misses the shot that Simpson should have been there for in the beginning. That Flint had to track all the way back for. And it just, and then like nothing happens for 10 minutes. I have nothing for 10 minutes because just nothing happens. And then when things do happen, it looks like a bunch of reaction passes. Like we're just passing to pass.
Yeah, very instinctual and not in a good way. The second half did feel very. I mean, Liz, I got to call you out here. You messed up the second half for me and Mike because you came back from your little errand run, okay? And you came in going, "What the hell? What's going on?" And we're like, "What do you mean? We paused the game. We were waiting for you."
Okay, for the record, they didn't say they were pausing the game. At no point did they be like, "Hey, we're going to pause the game so that when you come back, don't look at the score." Nobody told you this.
Don't talk to the listeners. Talk to me. I'm right here in front of you.
Okay, I'm going to look into the camera. Nobody told me this. You didn't tell me this.
Look at me. You're right. We should have told you.
Yeah. So nobody told me. So I come back from my really quick errand that I'm trying to make before halftime, and I see that they score a goal in the 51st minute. And I come in and I go, "Gosh, dang it!" And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, we paused the game." And they're all mad at me. And then they told me not to check FOTMOB, and it's really hard not to check FOTMOB.
We were enjoying the commercials. I'm in another Super League commercial, a totally different one from the last one I was in.
Do you still have mad lacrosse arms?
Always.
Excellent.
Hey, you got to have forearms to be able to cradle. But but hey, Super League, if you're open to me maybe modeling a jersey or anything next season, let me know. I'm available.
Son, we are also available if you have any pink keeper kits that need to be modeled or some orange keeper kits. From a friend over here.
I can do hair up, whatever we're looking about. I'm willing to play ball, Amanda. Okay. So regardless of me gassing myself up, apparently. It was overall, despite the weird temporal difference that was going on, it was a very kind of weird start to that second half. It felt like both teams were at a draw and neither team wanted to push for that second point. A lot of times early on to start a soccer game, you'll get the feeling out process, they love to call it. Mm-hmm. There wasn't much of that in this game. It was kind of go, and then Brooklyn scored, and then we went, and then we scored. And then the feeling out process reset itself and started in the second half, where it was, okay, now what do we do? Now that there's only 45 minutes left, now that the game's a little more tighter than probably either team would have hoped it would be, 0 goal differential, a tie game that's as tight as a game gets, scientifically speaking. My math teacher would be proud of me right now. Both teams didn't come out flat, but they did kind of come out feeling each other out, seeing what the ball game was, because it was super tight. It's a draw game. What do you want to do? We had that series of defensive miscues that you had talked about, Liz, where we let a lot of things get away. A couple times this game, we can't shout out every moment. Schneider looked great because she had some good saves. So a couple times in this, she did bail us out. But Brooklyn wasn't exactly setting the world on fire either. They were having some issues. They were looking for an opening. We were looking for an opening. There was a lot of counter punching going on. So we eventually get it back going, and the game opens up a lot to finish up. And I think Brooklyn gets the first goal of the second half. Liz, how's that first goal happen?
That was the 54th. Yeah, that was my Tash tracks all the way back to stop Brooklyn. Set misses the header. Henny misses the pass. And then Flint misses the shot that Simpson should have been there for.
Yeah. Okay. And then so they did score off of that, which makes it work. But then we get back in it, I think. The game's not great, but we kind of figure things out.
Well, we get Vivian shithousery beset, almost with the first possible red. Pretty lucky. There's a shirt pull in the 67th that was explained to me by people much smarter than me. I will admit that, and have been refs and have reffed games. That because it was going towards the goal, it counts as a dog so.
It probably could have been.
What it was? No, they said it does. He said it does.
Yeah, well, obviously it doesn't, because it didn't.
Oh, okay. Technically, yeah. Okay, yeah. He said it should have. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But that could have been the first red card.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about. Is like,
thank God.
What's going on in? I know there's no referee locker room, but what's going on in the referee's locker room in the Super League? Yeah.
Do they know? Do they know there's been no red card? Do they know?
They have to.
Yeah.
So is it like you don't want to be that ref that awards the first red card in league history? That has to be it. You gotta let as much go as you can.
See, and I think it's historic, especially it would be really funny too, was pointed out to me that if we got a red card against or for us, that we would have the first red card, but with also the most yellows.
Yeah, we statistically speaking, we are the most deserving of a red card right now. It's coming, guys. Stay tuned, please, because it's coming.
Yeah. Beset is trying.
Yeah, Beset is trying for sure.
Yeah.
Henny is going.
Flu has a pretty gnarly collision. It looks like there might have been some blood. So I do hope that she's okay. She does continue to play. So
that took a while. That was like 10 minutes to clean up.
Yeah. No, it added about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, probably should have been more, but hey.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it added just the right amount of time, didn't it?
It did add just the right amount of time. But even after that, Tash is again, she's having to get so deep to get any touches on the ball at all, and then immediately running right back up. I mean, I would love to see what her fitness tracker said for how many miles she ran during this game, quite frankly.
Yeah, it said call an ambulance is what it said.
Yeah, it said, is this person okay? Because they ran a marathon in 90 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, so the tying goal in very unsunned fashion, unsunned substitutes. In the very unsunned fashion, we did get the tying goal in 90+4. Yeah. And I know, if you take away the flu injury, the goal probably ends up being in regulation. But the fact of the matter is that's not how soccer works, and it's not how time or the universe works. we got a stoppage time goal, which I didn't go back and check, but it feels like something that never happens for us. It may be like the latest goal in Sun history, right? Feels like that?
Probably.
Not our job to check. We don't get
Nope.
paid. This isn't a job.
Nope. Yep.
Directly contradicting what we said earlier.
Yes.
So the fact is that Flint went out there, got on the end of a ball, went across her body. It was across her body, left-footed, running towards the left-footed shot, back across her body to the right side of the goal, running onto it. No chance the keeper, Nico Purcell, gets onto it. Just fantastic. Two wildly different goals from one player, both equally impressive, in my opinion.
And we kept Brooklyn from winning at home.
Thank gosh. Keep that up, please.
Yep.
Yeah, any final takes on the Brooklyn game, Liz?
Eh.
Yeah. Is that a capital eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Eh.
I would like to give a shout out to Hannah Keene.
Oh, yes.
You would too, but I'm doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, we would like to give a shout out to Hannah Keene. 372 days per herself of rehab and 1 million per herself rehab sessions in those 372 days, which I don't think that's possible, Hannah. I think you should recheck your math there.
No, that sounds right to me.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you've gone through rehab, so
I have gone through rehab, so it feels roughly like 1 million.
Yeah.
So that is an accurate number.
Yeah, she finally got it back out there. She's a player we've been waiting on for a while. Did great for Western United down in Australia in the A-League. Came in after over a year of not playing in a soccer game. I mean, my God, her injured leg was gnarly looking. It looked atrophied. It looked tiny. So to finally come in late in a tough game against a good Brooklyn team on the road, she looked so solid. No mistakes. Like, so glad we have her back.
Yeah.
I hate having to find...
Excited to see how we utilize her, especially in the next game.
I hate having to find new players and new pieces, new weapons as often as we do, but at the same time, it's kind of a good problem to have. So if Hannah Keene comes in, finds her form for this playoff push that we're in the middle of, love it. Help us get over the hump, Hannah. What's next, Liz?
All right.
Who we got next?
Player of the match.
Player of the match? Player of the match?
Player of the universe. No, Eureka.
Fix it.
Player of the universe.
Player of the universe.
Tash Flint.
Tash the Rocket Flint.
Yeah, honestly, stand out. Getting us 2 goals. Just and basically saving the game. Thank God. Yeah. I know she had assists. Obviously, she had help, but I love her magical toes that make all the goals.
Magical toes, yeah. Obviously, if you score 2 goals in a 2-goal game, you're a favorite for player of the game.
Yes.
But she's been great in this past Brooklyn game. She's scored goals in, it feels like, every game we've recently played. She scored against Spokane. She's been up and down the field. She's been fantastic. She's settled into a really good role here for us at Sun FC. Damn, she's good. There's no tactical breakdown here. It's just, are you not watching? She's really good. We don't have to explain this to you.
RBLR player of the universe.
Yes. The first ever player of the universe honor.
All right. We have coming up next an interview with Brooke Hendricks. Woo! Very exciting.
We love Brooke.
So we're going to cut to that because we had to record that very early in the morning.
Always.
And we're going to. Hi, and welcome back. This is that interview that we promised. We're very excited. We have Brooke Hendricks here, and to help me, we have our RBLR Sun writer and co-host when we need him, James Knowles. Thanks, James, and thank you so much, Brooke, for taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
So, Brooke, when we're doing this, it is Tuesday. We have a game on Saturday. We're very excited. We're playing Fort Lauderdale. How do you and the team feel?
We're very excited as well. It's kind of been turned into a little bit of a rivalry game, and things get heated every time we play. So I think it's always something that we're up for.
Yes, I'm not saying that when my friend was asking what game she should come and watch, travel down for, but I said, well, you could come down for Lexington, which will be entertaining, but Fort Lauderdale has the possibility for blood.
We've seen it before, for sure.
Yeah.
And we always tie them, so we're both teams are looking for a win, so we're hoping we can pull it out this time.
Yeah, I would say we're hungry for a win just to finally end the draws, and they want to win because they're top of the table.
Exactly. So there's a lot to fight for this game. We have a playoff push as well, so we really need a win.
Yeah, so we know the goal is a championship. What area of growth are you working on, and how are you helping the team achieve that? I
think for personal growth, I'm working on being more of a vocal leader on the field. Just as a center defender, it's a very important role to have, and I think I can always improve in that area, especially when we are looking for a playoff push. I'm just trying to lead by example and with my voice. I'm a bit more quiet, I guess you could say, but I'm working on getting my voice to project.
So with that stated, you said that you do lead by example, but you're trying to be a little bit more vocal. I know that you have a lot of experience in your career playing in multiple different places, in fact, and you have started, I think, all of the games that you've played for the Sun, 19 if my stats are correct here. But as a top player on our team, I guess then you are more lead by example while you're trying to become more vocal. Is this a process that the team has requested of you? Is this something that Denise Schulte-Brown has brought up?
Yeah, I think she challenges me. Since I've been here, to try to be more and more vocal and lead by example at the same time. I think it's been kind of a thing that's been asked of me as I've gotten older as well. With all my experience on each team I've moved to. That's been asked of me as well. So it's I think I've been told I've been too nice as a center defender. So they're like, you need to have a little more grit about you. And I think it's just hard because I like being nice. But yeah, so she is challenging me to do that. And I think she's helping me grow in that area a lot.
Yeah, it's something on the soccer field where you got to kind of give yourself a little bit more of a push in certain ways, I'm sure.
We'll switch almost.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned you have played for several different teams and you've been in several different leagues, for the audience, that includes the WPSL, the WSL, the NWSL, and the Australian A-League, and that's not all of them. How do you feel that the club and the supporter culture differ between even just generally between all the leagues, comparatively to the Super League then?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect coming into the Super League. Obviously, it's a new league, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But I was actually so pleasantly surprised on the first game when we showed up, and there was just so many fans cheering. Cheering, and it was going crazy. The whole big supporter section, so loud. I think it's really the USL has a really entertaining fan base. With the drums and the flags and the smoke things, and I think it's really exciting to play in front of. In Europe, it was a little bit more reserved, I guess you could say. As far as I wouldn't say there's flags and stuff sometimes, and they cheer loud, and they're passionate fans as well, but it's more of a I don't know, more of a reserved setting. So there's clapping and yelling sometimes, but it never drums as much. Well, we did have drums at Reading actually, and they were good. They were at the very top, like the big stadiums, which I think makes it unique at Tampa Bay too. Is like the more like intimate stadium, so we hear everyone a lot more, which is fun. In WSL, I think, there's some crazy fans over there as well, which is it's exciting. I feel like the fan base for women's soccer in general has just been like exponentially growing in like a very positive way, and it's been so cool to see because like we can't play without the fans. Like we need that, and we wouldn't want to play without fans because like that's like we love that. Like that's what keeps us going. We're an entertainment industry at the end of the day, so I think it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting way to think about it too. It is something, like a movie or whatever, but yeah, it is part of the entertainment industry overall. So that makes sense. I wanted to break down a little bit further that a question that Liz had just gotten us started with there, with the different cultures and the different leagues that you've played in. And I just wanted to ask, I guess, how does the Super League at this point stack up? Because as stated, you have played in many different places all over the world at this point, and you have a pretty good background in women's soccer about the different levels. And so I wanted to see, I guess, where you thought the Super League was in terms of all the places that you have played so far.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think some of the leagues that I've played in have been a little bit more established. So I think obviously they'll be a little bit more, I guess, they'll be at a higher level consistently because they've been there for longer. Like the Super League in England has been there around for quite a while now, and it's just very established. So very high level players are always going there, and they can keep it consistent. The budgets are a bit higher, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think for it being a first year league and all the teams being new, the standard is much higher than I expected it was going to be in the Super League, which is really exciting because that means we can only go up from here. So I think it's a really, really good start, a really good first year. We have some really talented players all over the league. So I think it's really, really, really exciting to be a part of this league in the first year and see how it grows moving forward.
So a little more of a fun question. How are you enjoying Tampa? Is this your first trip to the Tampa Bay area?
An extended trip, yes. I came once before in high school, and I came for like a tournament or something with my soccer team. Something like silly like that. So extended period, yes. My mom grew up near Destin, so whenever we come to Florida, we always went near Destin or Panama City. So yeah, I really liked it so far. It's a lot like more culturally diverse than I would have imagined, and there's so many different pockets of Tampa. We actually just did a coffee battle, me and the other Brooke, and
yes, I saw you were continuing to Kaylin's coffee reviews.
Yes, so she did the bird battles, and then we took over when it became the Tampa one. And it was actually so cool, to just go around in different, even areas of Tampa and try new coffee shops and see what the vibe is in that area. It's so big. I'm from a small town in Georgia, and my parents live in a very small town in Alabama. So now, Tampa is huge to me. Traffic is not my favorite thing, but we make it through.
Yeah, you truly cannot throw a stone without hitting 1 or 12 coffee shops in Tampa or St. Pete.
Which is really cool. I love coffee shops.
Yeah, no, that is one of my favorite things about Tampa Bay is there's a little bit of everything, and no matter what you want to do, we have it somewhere, but there will be traffic on the way.
Yes, I don't understand it. There's so many roads everywhere, right? But they always say the fastest road is the interstate road. What is it, 75, whatever it is, and it is always backed up. I'm like, this surely cannot be the fastest way. Not every time. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's one of the many mysteries that we experience down here. Go ahead, Liz. Sorry.
I was to say, just another fun one we had asked in the heat wave. What's on your game day playlist? What gets you hyped for game day?
Ooh, that's a very good question. So we actually have DJs in the locker room. So usually it's either Lauren Kellett or Paige or Nacello. Okay. And yeah, so it's usually their mix of music, but I like pretty much anything I personally like 2010s, like hip hop, R&B type stuff. Because I feel like they're classics, like Usher. Yeah, like that you can't go wrong with a classic. So I think I like those type of music. Like when those songs come on, like I'm more into it. I like to dance and just be free and loose in the locker room before games. So yeah, I know it's hard to imagine big lanky thing. I think it's really good to have like music you can like bop around to, just to kind of get your focused, but not like overly nervous, relaxed.
So is it like a little dance party before every game then?
Sometimes, honestly, it has turned into that before. Sometimes it has. So I think, we miss Riley for that. Riley was really good. Riley Parker was really good for a good dance battle, dance off.
Oh yeah, I can imagine for sure. Yeah, she's crazy. I love her.
Yeah, she's great.
I had a question based off of where you said that you grew up. You said that you grew up in a small town, and that was in, if I'm not mistaken, northern Georgia. Just making sure that I have as much of your stats correct here. You went to Southern Miss and then tried to jump into the professional game. So I wanted to get a little bit more information for everybody listening. If you could go into your soccer background and tell us about how you literally found the game of soccer and then continued to play there and ultimately ended up a professional, because my assumption would be that a lot of people in northern Georgia might not end up in that space, but obviously it's probably not the best assumption. It's probably something that's relatively strong up there.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia is as a state, it's a big soccer state. There's tons and tons of teams that play. I think it's more pockets, I would say. So where I grew up, I guess it's kind of northern. It's definitely in the northern half, but it's like kind of like central-ish. So I grew up halfway between Atlanta and Columbus. I don't know if you know those places or not, but you're right in the middle in a place called Sharpsburg. So I played on like a local club until I was 14, 15. And like my dad was my coach for most of the time. And it was just kind of more, I wouldn't say, it was like more for fun than it was like super intense. And then eventually I did move to a club that's more well-known, Concord Fire. I don't know if y'all have heard of it or not, but it's a big club in Georgia. And that's kind of when I started to be able to develop a little bit more and compete against higher levels and really try to push myself in that regard. But putting in reverse, how I even got to in the first place, I was actually put into ballet by my parents when I was like 3. And I didn't really like thrive in that environment, I would say. So like we showed up for the concert and like everyone's like doing like the dances and like flipping the batons and stuff. And I'm just like sitting there like just doing this with my baton, just chilling. They were like, okay, never again. And I have like diagnosed ADHD, and I was just a wild child. Like I was just bouncing off the walls. And my mom was like, I need a break from you. What can we do that's going to make you get out some energy? So she went by and like saw like the local club that I played for like years and years had soccer. She's like, I signed you up for soccer today. And I was like, okay, perfect. I didn't know what it was, obviously. So then I go out there and like, they just run around for like an hour. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And my mom was like, this is perfect. Because I actually like got some energy out. And it wasn't in an annoying way to her. So it was, so I basically got started because I was so bad at ballet. That's pretty much the only reason.
That's very funny.
Yeah, so it was good. My mom and put me in it, and I fell in love with it from like pretty much the first practice, and just kept playing ever since. Then from high school I went to Southern Miss. I got recruited to go there, which was really cool. I love Southern Miss. I had the best time. I wouldn't necessarily say like at the time when I was there that it was a big soccer school. It's Division I, but we were working on it. We'll say that. So I didn't really think I could go professional. I think around the same time the NWSL had folded and there wasn't much to like look forward to. I didn't really know about Europe at the time either. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just have to get a job or go to grad school. I was planning on going to grad school for prosthetics and orthotics instead. And then, I was like applying and everything. And then I just had like this feeling that I wasn't done yet. And my coach helped me get in contact with a guy called Alex Palma in Georgia, back where I was from. And he like trained me and had some connections in Holland, actually. So I trained with him for like 6 months, got right, and then went over for some trials in Holland. And then, because I didn't get drafted into the NWSL when it did come back, which is, I think it happens to like so many players, and now there's not even a draft. So
right.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. So I got my start over in Europe, and I eventually made a trial, I got signed from a trial in Scotland. And then after that, I started to get some film, and then I got an agent, and then I started like kind of moving around Europe. And now we're here. So it's really been a fun journey. Got to see a lot of different cultures and a lot of different places, and it's been amazing. I wouldn't trade the long road for anything.
I feel like it's actually really cool as a professional player that you have the option to play in a lot of different places, and then you get to see all of these cool countries that you might not have otherwise. So that's just, a bit of my fantasizing about what the life would be like. But I do want to drill down on one quick thing before I'll turn it back over to Liz, because my dad's actually from Scotland and we are a Rangers family. So I saw that I believe that's where you started your career. And I just wanted to ask you a little bit about what that was like. I think that probably that was before Rangers had turned their women's team professional. So it might be different, obviously, than from what it is now. And I just wanted to get your perspective on what it was like being at the club and playing specifically back then, when it was possibly even more of an afterthought at the club, but something that I hope now they're obviously turning into a truly professional outfit with everything that they've added to the team.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it truly is professional for the women's side now. They're getting paid well. They're getting taken care of, have their own like sections of the training facility and stuff like that. So I think that's really exciting. When I was there, you're right. I think it would have been deemed like semi-professional. So some girls were getting paid a little bit for games. Just depend. Most people had jobs on the side.
Gotcha.
And then when I was coming in late, so luckily, actually, my mom was born in England, so I was able to get a British passport as well, which helped me be able to stay and work there. Yeah. Which I don't think I would have been able to if I didn't have that. So that's quite a blessing. So then when I got there, and they were really, really good to me with the trial, and they said, okay, we can sign you for the team. We don't have any money, but like we can help you find a place to live and whatever else. So they were super helpful with that. The team was really good. It was competitive. It was fun. I actually trialed there as a center mid, and because that's what I played in college the whole time. But then I didn't get my first game until what was it? Oh yeah. So I was like a sub for the game, and then right before the game, one of the defenders got hurt, and they played a 3-back, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, like you're gonna start now because they're injured." And you'll be fine. Never played center back in my whole career. So I was like, we'll see how this goes. We'll give my best shot. So I played left of a 3-back against Celtic. So it was like a do or die game as well, because like they don't mess around with that rivalry.
Right.
So I really got thrown to the wolves from the start. But I ended up doing well, and I never left that position. So it was really cool. I had to work on the side. I worked at Subway, actually, like the sandwich shop.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and which was fun. It was an experience, and I slept on like the floor of my teammate's house, her family home, which was so nice of them to let me live with them.
Yeah,
we didn't have to. They let me live for free. It was definitely an experience, but one I wouldn't trade. It was cool.
Were you? Did you ever have any trouble understanding people coming in asking for their sandwiches?
Yeah. Like the lunch kids would come in, and I had no clue. They're like asking for like gherkins and like random things that I have no clue what they are. So, gherkins are pickles, by the way. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "You're gonna have to speak slower. I'm sorry. I'm American. I have no clue what you're saying. I'm just like marbles in your mouth." Yeah, it was fun. I definitely had to learn a lot.
I can imagine, even with my Scottish dad and growing up with some level of British TV in the house, I definitely still had trouble when I went over there with my wife. So I get the struggle, even if it's not as bad as doing it for a job and having to understand people. Yeah. Liz, I'll turn it back over to you.
Sure. So we just had a game against Brooklyn. We ended in a 2-2 draw. But that first goal, that was a thing of beauty. That was a cross from Giamona to you, and then you got it right to Tash, right in the back of the net. Was that planned? Was that like executed from practice? Was that just spur of the moment worked out? Take us through that goal?
Honestly, it was definitely not planned in that manner. I think what was supposed to happen from that corner it was supposed to be their dribble, and then Carly was gonna maybe try to find Tash at the top of the box if she was open. So it ended up they couldn't get out of the corner like we planned. But then Carly was really good to kind of just mix it up and see what else she can do. So she somehow got the cross in, and I was actually supposed to be not there. I was actually supposed to be somewhere else. But I saw it coming. I was like, well, I'm the closest one to it right now, so I'll go to it. So then Tash was like, lay it off. So I was like, okay. Like I was like, all I was thinking, I was like, hey, get it down. Don't let it bounce. So I just tried to get my touch to like cushion the ball enough to where it would be flat enough for her. And then it was an incredible finish by Tash. She picked her place, put it right there. So I think it was such an impressive finish. But it wasn't planned.
It looked like it, honestly. It was truly just beautiful to watch, and so needed. It was good to get that goal in the first half for sure.
We did need that goal in the first half for sure.
Yeah,
it was tough.
Okay. Yeah. I can imagine a game against Brooklyn. They are a well drilled team. I was just reviewing that match last night for game notes.
Yes, it was crazy. It was warm up was like sunny, 75. Like I was sweating. Everyone was kind of feeling like hot. And then next thing I know, we show up for the game. Like we come back out of the tunnel, and it's like a fog had rolled in, and then it's like 20 degrees colder. Like I'm not joking. Like you can see your breath. And then we're playing and hail starts. It was the craziest change of weather. And it was so windy. I don't know if y'all could see.
We saw it was windy. It was rainy. I think it's halftime, or it might have been before the game. There was this really funny still shot of Erica Timrack just like all bundled, like all you could see were her eyes. She had like her hat on. She was so bundled up. So I can imagine how chilly it was, especially when it started raining.
Yeah, came out of nowhere, complete change. So we were like, uh-oh, what's going to happen now? So I think we did really well to will ourselves back to a tie.
Yeah, no, for sure. You guys, at no point did I think you had there was no give up. There was just keep going the whole game, which, Lord, we as fans appreciate, and we love to see the hustle.
Yeah.
So we only have a couple more minutes. Let me just ask you one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
As fans, what is the best thing we can do to support you guys and the team?
Honestly, I feel like just showing up to the games is so nice. Like being loud, cheering our names. Like I feel like sometimes fans don't realize how important like they are for the momentum of the game. Like when we're down and you cheer us on, we're like, okay, we can still do this. Or even when we're up and we're like, we need to keep a clean sheet, and y'all are cheering for us behind. Like it really doesn't go unnoticed, and we appreciate it so much. And it's so fun like having you guys there, and so just showing up is really what we need from you guys.
Okay, well, you heard it, guys. Show up this Saturday. We're playing Fort Lauderdale. This is our in-state derby, so you want to make sure you're there. Go get your tickets. Thank you so much, Brooke, for taking the time to speak with us. We really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was so fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
And we're back. I'm glad we enjoyed Yeah. I really got Tom with that one.
Liz, that was super professional. I didn't expect that.
Thank you. I really turned on my YouTuber with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brooke
so much.
She's a warrior.
I have many years of experience watching YouTube. So.
Yeah, hey, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, and I have to say the early 2010s were very formative for the YouTuber, like for vlogging and stuff. So
yeah. You did the open mouth and everything. I loved it.
Yeah.
No, dude, we love Henny. She's a warrior. Anybody who gets their face broken while playing for my soccer team, love you.
Yeah, we didn't get to touch on that, unfortunately, but anyone who gives their entire face and has to wear a Batman mask for several games, they're a number one in my book.
Yeah. So this coming week, big game this Saturday, April 5th. Please note April 5th, this Saturday. The game got moved
Saturday.
a long time ago.
Whatever FOTMOB says, I think they're wrong. Go check SeatGeek. Go check SeatGeek.
Yes. We will be at Big Jim Stadium.
Yes.
This coming Saturday to take on Flutedale, Fort Lauderdale,
yes.
Fort Loserdale, whatever. We can't call them that until we actually beat them, to be honest.
Yeah, we really can't. Fluted.
Yeah. They're fluted. They're always going to be fluted. So this is the 4th regular season meeting between the two clubs, the 5th overall, because there was a preseason match that, of course, ended in a draw. Yep. How special, how rare, how wonderful is it to have a brand new derby like this that is, on one hand, brand new and fresh and ready for layers of hope and history to be pounded upon it, and also the Tampa Bay Fort Lauderdale Florida Derby that goes back to the 70s. So to have that much men's history, essentially discarded because the Strikers are a garbage organization who died. And now we have the women come
Bill
in.
Edwards murdered.
Who Bill Edwards killed them. Just like he Patreon content.
Never mind.
But yes, so now we've got this game. It's the 5th meeting overall, the 4th meeting in the regular season, the 4th competitive meeting. This one means so much, not just for the rivalry, not just for the fans here in Tampa Bay, for the Flight 19 and the ECC and the New River Raiders down in Fort Lauderdale. This is a huge match.
3?
No, I said us, and then I said their 2 things.
You said 3. Flight 19, New River Raiders.
Oh, well, Flight 19's dead, but that was the Strikers SG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
No,
They don't have 3. They have 2 and 1 dead one. Unless you're not. Shout out Flight 19. But regardless of the history, the 50, 60 years of history going into this rivalry between the two city soccer teams, this game has meaning here in 2025 because we are in a playoff push. Fort Lauderdale is up there at the top. We are sitting down there at 5. Well, Fort Lauderdale's in 2nd right now. They've recently got passed by Carolina again. But we are in 5th. They're in 2nd. We are getting to the point where we need wins to happen. And
if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen at home.
It's gotta happen at home.
Yeah.
Glad you said it. And if it's gonna happen,
if you haven't gotten your ticket, go buy it right now. In fact, pause this or keep listening if you're on your phone. Whatever. Yeah. I don't care. But go to SeatGeek. Go buy a ticket now. Thank you.
Or go to the Heatwave Discord and see if anyone's got one for you. We're good like that.
There you go.
Nobody looks out for we like we look out for we.
That's right.
So it's a big game coming up. Fort Lauderdale is still talking about their goddamn 9-game undefeated streak. 7 of those games are wins in that 9-game undefeated streak, which is pretty impressive. Those 2 draws in that 9-game undefeated streak are to your Tampa Bay Sun FC. We are fighting for you.
Yes.
So if it's going to happen, if the dam's going to break, if something's going to turn around, if this season's going to kick into another gear for a true playoff push to get us out of this 5 spot, 4 of 8 teams in this league make the playoffs. If something's going to happen, I don't want to say it has to happen this weekend, but man, it should happen this weekend.
Yeah.
And the players feel like, I know the last interview after the game, they're like, oh no, they're a good team. We respect the way they play. Like, we saw that game, you guys. That was not friendly. You guys were hitting each other. There was after the whistle stuff. There were handbags.
There was blood.
There was literal blood.
Yeah.
This is rapidly approaching rivalry status, even if nobody besides the fan bases will admit it. So if you're not going to be there, you're goofing up. This is huge. This is a good Fort Lauderdale team on a good streak, but they're coming to Big Jim, and that's where dreams go to die.
I want to say, yeah, I think you're right. I feel like this is where the draws end. This is where we win or lose.
Do we go 3 for 3? Me, you, and Eureka with a 2-1? Because I'm on the 2-1 train.
All right. 2-1.
A unified front. Let's go. 2-1. It's happening. Call up your bookie. Go to the Seminole Hard Rock Casino. Put down $100,000 on this game. Do not do that. Please, God.
Do not do that. Gambling is very addictive. Don't do that.
Don't gamble. Don't gamble.
Yeah. Don't
Find something else to get addicted to. Like
send us $5 instead. That's a way better return on investment, I swear.
Yeah, go to shop.rblrsports.com and use code HEATWAVE for 10% off whatever you would have gambled on a 2-1 Sun victory.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not only that, we save you money. See that?
Yeah, we're trying to help.
Yeah.
If you have any problems, send me a Discord DM and I'll walk you through it, bud. I'm here for you. So yeah, that's the game coming up. We can't get too in the weeds about it because it's a team we've seen 4 times already. It's a team we know deeply personally. It's a team we don't like. It's a team Shania Gordon is on, and she hates me as a human being, I feel like. Which fair. That's her right. I think she's earned that. So we'll do a quick little look around the league because we do have, besides Fort Lauderdale, we have another rival coming in next season. Not in the southeast part of the state, but in the northeast part of the state. Liz, why don't you tell us about them?
Their name is Jacksonville.
Yes.
They're trash.
Okay. Wow.
Trash. No, they just got a coach. Stacey Balam, who came from Vanderbilt as head coach. And apparently, according to Tom's notes, she played for the Silverbacks in a win over FC Jacks once, which is very funny.
And a 7-0 win. Yeah. She yeah, which is really funny to me. I hope you guys are getting a kick out of that too. But yeah, she was recently the associate head coach at Vanderbilt, which is a good little college soccer team. Not a NC State or a North Carolina or a Duke or a Stanford or nothing, but a good team. And it's something that colleges like to do, where they bring up a sort of assistant fringe player or coach, I should say, and call him an associate head coach. You're not the assistant to the regional manager anymore. You're the assistant regional manager now. So it's better. But she's gotten good recommendations there out of the coach at Vanderbilt. She spent some time coaching at University of North Georgia, some time coaching at the University of West Georgia. And I think we've seen it here with our team and with Denise with USF. I think it's good to have those fairly local ties. I know she's not from Florida. She's not from Jacksonville, but Georgia, Tennessee. She's going to do a good job, I think, of identifying top players around the Southeast, especially in the first couple of years that she's a pro coach outside of the college ranks. She's going to know who's good in the SEC. She's going to know who's a standout player in the state of Georgia. She's going to be pretty familiar with who she wants to bring in. I've heard she's a very good coach as far as getting her message across, her philosophy across. Not a huge name, you wouldn't expect it. There's not a lot of big name coaches in the world of women's soccer, to be fair. So they didn't bring in anybody like see, exactly. I can't even name anybody, but they brought in Stacey Blum, and I think it's a good hire. I like that they're announcing her this far out. That's something that's special for Jacksonville as the 9th Super League team, as opposed to the first 8, is they have, and Liz, it's something we were talking about this weekend. Jacksonville has a whole lot longer time to ramp up into playing than anybody else did. And you would reckon
way
that
more
would
time
be a
to
good
get their
time.
shit together.
Yeah, their shit should be all wrapped up by the time they finally kick a ball, because they're doing a lot of work up there. They've got youth programs now in Gainesville, in Tallahassee, in Pensacola. They're proven to be ambitious up there. They want to take over, if not the entire state of Florida, then at the very least all of North Florida. So I'm impressed by what Jacksonville is doing so far. Just want to see if it translates over, and I hope it doesn't. I wish them nothing but the worst on the field, and I hope all the bad things in the world happen to their players except for injuries, because you're not allowed to root for that because it's a bad thing. So yeah, I hope Fort Lauderdale and Jacksonville play to a draw every time they play, and I hope those two teams lose every other game they play.
However, I hope Morgan gets stunning photos every game.
Exactly. Yeah. I hope Morgan has the best time possible. Yep. So that's our future rival. If you're still listening, chime in down below about what you feel about Jacksonville. Should they be included in the Florida Derby? Do we get like a three-way trophy going, Liz? Do they get their cute little name? Do we have a cute name with Fort Lauderdale? Do they get to do their own cute thing on the East Coast? I don't know.
I like Alligator Alley Derby, but that's kind of wordy. But I like the vibes.
Yeah, it's unique.
The Everglade Derby could work.
Well, they're SGs, the Everglades. It's got it right in the name. I don't know. We'll workshop it.
Yeah, if you have an idea, let us know.
Is there a Jacksonville SG?
They're Jacksonville? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if you have a cutesy name, I'm all for it. Like if we played Orlando, it would be the I-4 Derby.
The Warren I-4.
Yeah.
That's just any Tampa Orlando thing is that to me.
Yes.
Shout out to Tampa Storm.
It's because it's good and it's cutesy and I like it.
It's cute. It rhymes. I love things that are cute and rhyme.
Yes. I don't know how to segue into that, but there were some other games yesterday. Was it Carolina played Dallas, or when we're recording this? Yeah, wait, when this goes live, it's 2 days ago. Whatever.
Multiple time means nothing, Liz. This past weekend, Carolina beat Dallas 3-0, and that's why Carolina's back top of the table over Fort Lauderdale. Because Dallas is
that why, or is it because Carolina beat Dallas tonight?
Tonight? Dallas beat DC tonight.
Wait. Oh, Dallas play. I'm on the wrong day on FOT Mom.
I'm gonna fight you later. I'm gonna fight
me.
you.
That's fine. That's fine. I deserve it.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page there.
Yeah, I accept that. Yeah, okay. That's on me. Yeah, so yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then Dallas only wins 1-0 over DC. It was very strange.
Yes, 8th place DC against 2nd place Dallas.
Literally double the points.
Yeah. So I think Dallas bad. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Dallas not good. DC bad. Dallas not good. I would say that, right? That's my
Dallas decent.
Dallas decent. Dallas, We can talk about the Sun for 40-50 minutes. And then when it comes to the other teams, it's like, I don't know, DC bad, Dallas I'm
not studying their game footage. I'm studying mine.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, yeah, that's what happened there is Dallas played 2 games. They lost to Carolina pretty soundly. Then they beat DC, not impressively. And then actually it's a very Dallas heavy week. They play again on Sunday against
that's rough.
Lexington, who again, not a good team. Lexington bad, we'll say it. Lexington bad, period. So it's a good chance for Dallas to come out and put a little space between them and us is the problem. So we're rooting for Lexington this weekend, Sunday at 2 p.m. Lexington, Dallas. We're pulling for the Green Horsies. The other game tonight, Thursday night, is Spokane versus Brooklyn, which if you're a Sun fan, Green Horsies is good. Thank you.
Green Horsies versus Red Horsies.
Red Horse. Oh, yeah, it is Green Horsies and Red Horsies.
Yeah, that's what got me. Because they're both horsies.
You guys can have that for free. The horse derby. Yeah, so tonight, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, if you're a Sun fan, this one should be of special interest to you. It's a team we just played, Spokane, against a team we just played, Brooklyn. So whatever happens there might reveal a little something about your favorite team, the Tampa Bay Sun FC. So keep those 2 games that we just played in mind as you watch this game, probably in your bed tonight because it's kicks off at 9 p.m.
Yeah. It's in Spokane on a Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. I love Spokane. I love having a West Coast team. I love having a nightcap, a late game, but They are late. They are late games.
Yeah. I like them better on Saturdays. Like, I love when Phoenix has a game and it's like, it starts at 10 o'clock right when I get home. Perfect.
Yes. I love going to a Rowdies game and then coming home to watch the Phoenix game. That's MSP, baby. Let's go. It's real. It exists.
It is. All right. So then you got us at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Again, go get your tickets now. You're welcome, front office. And then Sunday again, Lexington is playing Dallas at Lexington. So go green horsies, not the red horsies.
Go green.
Yes. All right, Tom. Any last thoughts for today?
Last thoughts. I hope Hanekeen helps. I hope we lock in. I hope things gear up because the season's rapidly coming to a conclusion. Let's go the Sun.
Let's go the Sun. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.